Dialogue. In your narratives, it's important to let your characters speak through dialogue, and it's important to punctuate that dialogue correctly. After reviewing what the textbook has to say about punctuating dialogue, you'll notice that important punctuation marks for dialogue include quotation marks. They also include commas, and then they also include end punctuation, usually periods, but then sometimes question marks or exclamation points. Also note in dialogue, each speaker gets his or her own line, which needs to be indented. Let's look at an example of what someone says in a narrative, some dialogue, for how to punctuate it correctly. "That's not the right answer, dear," responded the teacher, adjusting her glasses. "Let's fix it." So the teacher is the one speaking. And so the first thing she says is, "That's not the right answer, dear." So we put quotation marks around it. Also, we notice that there's a natural pause. "That's not the right answer, dear," because she's directly addressing someone, so a comma goes here. Now, you might be tempted to put a period here because you're thinking that's the end of her sentence. And it is the end of her sentence, but it's not the end of your sentence. So this is very important around any kind of signal phrases, which would be responded, the teacher. You have to make sure that you put a comma because it's not the end of your sentence. The end of your sentence comes later. So responded the teacher, comma, adjusting her glasses. Here's where the period goes because that's the end of your sentence because you have further description there, adjusting her glasses. But then the teacher talks again and she says, "Let's fix it." So we need more quotation marks here around what she's saying. But again, now we need the end of that second sentence, which is that dialogue from the teacher. And so we put a period, and that goes inside the quotation marks. So be sure to take care in punctuating dialogue correctly. You want to make sure that you do let your characters speak through dialogue in your narratives when you're drafting, but then when you're editing, come back and make sure that that dialogue is clear for your readers, who's speaking and when what they say stops and ends, through carefully punctuating that dialogue.